In this world, everyone is given a planet to become a planet lord, and I clearly possess a 3S class mechanical planet capable of creating 1,000,000 mechs. With it, currently, Hoshino had brought out 3 mechanical creations: the Black Warrior mech, the Crack Space Town mech from earlier, and the current one, which could not be confirmed as a mechanical entity yet. Suddenly, a cold wind accelerated, and the temperature dropped even further than before. The Snowmaster's rapid movements suddenly froze. His face was covered in frost. The Jiang family members who were also planning to escape gradually slowed down, and this decrease in speed was not what they had expected. It was purely due to the sudden drop in temperature. Roar! The extreme cold roarer suddenly let out a roar. The next moment, it leaped high into the air. Its entire body turned into an electric projection and slowly disappeared. Following that, a huge and incomparable mechanical white tiger with dual wings appeared in the sky. Its size was such that it could completely cover the entire sky, especially with those white wings. I didn't expect this to be his second mech. With this kind of combat power, as long as he adds some military achievements, he will be as comfortable as a fish in water in the 7th Division. Baisu clenched his fists tightly. In his opinion, geniuses like Hoshino, once they join the 7th Division, and are personally nurtured by him, it's not even his turn to nurture them. After all, Hoshino's Lord mode is different. The Division Lord divides the Lords into various factions. But for so long, there hasn't been a mechanical Lord established in the Empire. It can be said that it's a completely new aspect. There is simply no one to guide Hoshino. Regardless, I will have to try later. If it doesn't work, I'll use my position to provide him with some convenience. Captain, you can't do this, you've already helped Zhu Guangfu before. Captain, how can this be? Baisu sighed slightly. I helped Zhu Guangfu because I promised my comrade. As for now, helping this kid is also for ourselves, for the 7th Division. This is an investment, a profitable investment that everyone knows will make money, so this is different from before. Baisu disappeared from the spot. Although Zhu Guangfu did many wrong things, now that he is dead, his body should be taken back. This can be considered a complete process. It doesn't matter what the body looks like now, it will definitely be put in a box in the end. At this moment, Director Shui was still gritting his teeth and running forward, but his speed was much slower now. His lower body was almost losing sensation, and his blood was gradually freezing. At this moment, a strong suction force came from behind. Director Shui couldn't take a step forward at this moment. He stiffened in the air, then slowly moved backward. No, it's impossible. The suction force behind him became stronger and stronger. He turned his head and saw a flying white mechanical tiger in the direction behind him. The mechanical tiger had opened its mouth wide, and when its upper and lower teeth were fully open, it looked like a crack in the sky, pitch black inside. Finally, the strong suction force completely sucked him in. In a few breaths, he flew into the pitch black mouth. After eliminating Director Shui and the Jiang family, some people from the Jiang family survived. Most of these people didn't even have the qualifications to fight from start to finish. There were also 2 special people, Jiang Yunxiao's parents. Your parents are here, shall I help you? Of course, I will spare them. Jiang Yunxiao's parents saw that most of the Jiang family had been swallowed by the extreme cold in the sky, and Director Shui naturally received special attention and entered the mouth. Seeing this situation, Jiang Yunxiao's parents couldn't sit still. They immediately rushed towards Jiang Yunxiao. Xiaoyun, I am your mother, you can't let your husband kill us. Yes, you can't do such a treacherous thing. Hearing this, Hudo Tianhe's temples suddenly bulged with veins. This is outrageous. However, regardless, the decision lies with Jiang Yunxiao, and it is her choice to make. Hudo Tianhe immediately retracted the extreme cold. For no other reason, he was afraid that he would lose control and kill these 2 people. It was only Jiang Yunmeng who suddenly came to her senses. Her face was filled with a look of shock. From the beginning until now, her whole brain was in a daze. Before she noticed Hudo, she had also considered her lifelong affairs. Shang Fan, and so on. There were also geniuses in Nantian City. But she was still somewhat dissatisfied with those geniuses in her heart. After all, those geniuses were all introduced by her, and their strength was just average. Some geniuses were even packaged by their families, with mediocre strength. It was an insult to the word genius. However, she only recently noticed the existence of Hudo. Not to mention Hudo's personal strength, just the fact that Hudo came alone was impressive. Even in an ordinary suit, he looked elegant. The Jiang family is now in name only. Jiang Yunmeng looked around and saw that there were still some young people from the Jiang family. In another 3 or 4 years, relying on herself, this family could also be saved. Hudo Tianhe's expression changed when he heard what Jiang Yunxiao's parents said. She was so angry that her teeth hurt. Before this, she had met Jiang Yunxiao's parents. That kind of thing really opened her eyes. It can be said that Jiang Yunxiao's parents, no matter what outrageous things they did, were within her expectations. The reason is simple. Even before these things happened, she had already sensed something was amiss. But as Jiang Yunxiao's best friend, she didn't feel comfortable saying anything. These two are just unbelievable. You can't go over there. This is something she has to handle herself. Hu Xing looked complicated. Some families treat their children as tools for their own benefit, and such things are not unheard of. However, most people cannot resist and can only sadly accept their fate in the end. Hu Xing had been in this southern heaven city for over 30 years, and he had been paying attention to this issue since he took over most of the Hu family's affairs. But that was the behavior of other families. If the Hu family were to do the same, they might as well change their surname. I asked you before, and how did you respond? You said I should sacrifice for the family, but now that the family members are all dead in battle, why don't I see you sacrificing? Jiang Yunxiao wasn't initially very angry, but a couple of words from her mother immediately ignited her anger. When selling her daughter, they claimed it was for the family, but when it was for themselves, they talked about emotions. How convenient it was for them to use whatever argument suited them. They acted like rogues when it suited them, and then started talking about reason when it didn't. Jiang Yunxiao gritted her teeth in anger, trembling all over. Others watched this scene coldly. It's best not to meddle in other people's family affairs. Otherwise, it's easy to get into trouble later on. No matter how you put it, we are. Enough. You two have insulted my eyes. Another cold, elegant female voice spoke up. It was Wu Xing, but she seemed a bit weak. Xingyi furrowed his brows slightly. I stopped all the Wu family members. Why do I feel like you're injured? Of course, if it weren't for your shot, could I be injured? You didn't even say anything when you fired? Fired. What firing? Xingyi was instantly confused. Jiang Yunxiao was also stunned, unable to believe what she was hearing as she looked back and forth between the two. Hu Tianhao was also dumbfounded. Not far away, Hong Yong, who was feeding Yi Xiaoli snacks, widened her eyes in surprise. She hadn't even noticed when she stuffed a bunch of snacks into Yi Xiaoli's mouth. What? This guy looks so serious, how come? Zhang Yunmeng, at this moment, began to doubt herself. This person, on the surface, seemed one way, but in reality. Shut up. You're making me angry. I meant your support artillery machinery. That thing has almost half the firepower of a broken star level. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Wu Xing was furious. If there weren't so many people watching now, she would have slapped Xingyi. Every time she talked to this person, she couldn't help but feel annoyed. Oh, you're being too concise in your words. I told you, we've only met twice. Xingyi smiled. Wu Xing was even more exasperated. Then she turned to look at Jiang Yunxiao's parents. A sense of killing intent arose in her heart. Back then, my parents sacrificed their lives for me and my brother. His bone marrow was even extracted in the end. And when I was young, I could only helplessly witness it all. Wu Xing said, a cold smile suddenly appearing on her face. People like you, in my eyes, are just like those old farts from the Wu family. So, let me ask you first, do you both really care about Jiang Yunxiao? Wu Xing's smile made everyone shudder. After all, in order to successfully wipe out a family, the other party had been enduring for who knows how many years. It has been planned up to now. Everyone is clear about it. Even without Hoshino's appearance, she, Wu Xing, would definitely have a way to deal with the Wu family. At this moment, Jiang Yunxiao's parents could only nod along with Wu Xing's words. Ah, that's great, now I'm going to kill Jiang Yunxiao, but I prefer to torture people. Since you both love her so much, you can die for her instead. Smack! Hoshino immediately grabbed her shoulder. Don't be so hasty, this is not your business. Wu Xing glanced at Jiang Yunxiao, then at Hoshino. She chuckled. Alright, I'll play with our Wu family first. Oh, Wu Chang, you're still alive. Oh, this is really great, I've been dreaming of chopping you into minced meat. Wu Xing went to play with the Wu family. Jiang Yunxiao looked at her parents, and a hint of killing intent suddenly appeared in her eyes. Sensing this killing intent, Jiang Yunxiao's parents were stunned. No, you can't do this. She can't, but I can. Now, as the heir of the Jiang family, I deprive you of the status as Jiang family members. This farce should also come to an end. From now on, you will no longer enjoy any resources of the Jiang family. Zhang Yunmeng spoke at this moment. Zhang Yunxiao and Zhang Yunmeng exchanged a glance. Zhang Yunxiao nodded slightly. Zhang Yunmeng's confidence instantly increased. She didn't want a conflict with Hoshino. Thoughts in her mind were one thing, but the future development of the Jiang family was another. Now that things had come to this, there needed to be an understanding. In the end, the people of the Wu family all remained in this space with strange and eerie expressions. Some people vomited halfway and chose to leave directly. As for Jiang Yunxiao's parents, no one cared about them. Hoshino planned to return to the Hu family with Jiang Yunxiao. As Hoshino left, most people also left, especially Bai Su, who hurried to visit Hoshino, leaving first, and immediately catching up with him. Of course, he didn't dare to stop directly. Blocking the way directly would give the other party a bad impression. Bai Su naturally wouldn't do such an extremely foolish thing. Moreover, for Hoshino, he still had some plans in mind. For a moment, the top floor of the South Pavilion was left with the Lord. Soon, the food attendants came in. "Dear guests, you have been waiting for a long time. These are..." The leading attendant was followed by a row of food carts. However, on the 59th floor, in this extremely vast hall, only the Lord remained. It's raining outside, they all went home to collect clothes. Don't worry, I've heard about the food at your South Pavilion. It's incredibly delicious, with excellent taste, color, and aroma. I haven't eaten it in over half a year. In fact, it was purely because his lord's salary was low. In this empire, the best salaries and benefits were in places like the military divisions, where one could earn military achievements. As for those like him who were lords, their main responsibility each year was to report upwards, such as how many geniuses there were. Basically, that was it. At this moment, the Lord felt a bit proud. Let them regret it. This is the food on the 59th floor of the South Pavilion. Even a single dish would be incredibly delicious. I've been craving this food for a long time, today I must eat it all. The attendant breathed a sigh of relief. Then a faint smile appeared on his lips. Alright, I've heard that the Lord is always busy. Come, move the table, put everything in front of the Lord, arrange the food as if it were a grand banquet. Shortly after, the Lord wiped his mouth. It had to be said, the South Pavilion truly deserved to be the #1 restaurant in the southern Sky City. The food was delicious. Unconsciously, the day had already grown late. I'm almost full, not bad, let's go back. At this moment, the attendant appeared out of nowhere again. My lord, this is the bill for your review. Not long ago, the Wu family intended to settle their bill, but a misnamed Wu Xing said that the diners would pay, so we decided to settle it with you. And because you are the lord of the city, we decided to give you a 20% discount, the attendant said. After the attendant finished speaking, the air fell into an extremely quiet state. The Lord's face still bore a simple smile as if he had just finished his meal. This smile resembled a famous painting. A minute or two passed. The Lord still maintained his indifferent smile. My lord? Would you settle the bill? The Lord took a deep breath and continued to smile. Go and fetch the manager of your South Pavilion for me. I have something to discuss.